The revolution will not be televised.
And welcome to
Welcome back.
podcast number two, episode number two of the MECKANICAST. So I named it, and as guests, like the first episode,
Yes.
we have Peter, we have Stanley, and hopefully today we have better topics to discuss, and it should be fun. So first, what do we tackle? How was your week so far?
Let's start starting.
It's crazy. It's just totally crazy. I mean, getting busy. I work in a pool company, so it's getting busy with opening pools. Very, very tight. No time to rest. Only work based, like I said, only till summer. Then it's like slower. It's gonna get better.
Nice.
You go ahead.
Well, my week's been, really good. I don't even know what today is. Oh, today's Friday. Yeah, no, I got just do my thing every day. What about you guys?
Similar. Work, training. No novelty so far this week. Beside a few failure to meet some of the goals set for the program, but it's just part of the process. So yeah, this week has not been too great in terms of my programming outcome, meaning some of the numbers that I've set out to hit were not accomplished. Could be due to a lot of things, fatigue. Fatigue. That's the only thing I can put it onto, because I think the programming has been great so far since October, and maybe it's about time it started failing here and there, because too long of a streak without failure, and at some point I think it was bound to happen. I cannot just have consistent PR after PR every week for the past 6 months. Sometime it has to, hopefully it's just a bug, and next week we shall see. Hopefully I get some new PR again next week, which means as soon as Monday, and I think everything should be fine. Other than that, I think everything has been good. Got to fix my car brakes as well.
Right.
It's been postponing for a long time, and
Just
it has a whole lot of rust on my left side.
Okay.
I've been pushing it for almost 2 months now, and I think I need to change it. I'll order the parts. I have to have it fixed now sometime next week, and then I can clean up the car, and because it's I think the rust has been spraying, because you can hear the squishing of the rotor. I think that's
put WD-40. Put WD-40.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna fix
It's
it.
gonna fix it.
Yeah, and don't get the Chinese or cheap like the brake pads, because it's not gonna be.
No, I'm buying part of the not the aftermarket part. I'm buying part from the dealership. Yeah,
I just got
because a lot of time the price difference is not that big, and some of the part of the dealership have sensors. So just so that I can avoid all type of discrepancy, I'd rather just buy the original parts, and then do. And I'm not gonna be doing it myself. I have very little understanding of car mechanic, so I have somebody who is gonna do it for me. That's something I would like to learn as well.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a valuable
I
skill.
always
Mechanic
look.
stuff.
It always looks interesting to a lot of people working on their own cars, and that should be if a good feature of a man, right? So
Well, yeah, I've seen videos of kids in South America. They're 10-year-old kids. They get a bunch of stuff together, like batteries and whatnot, and they build their own ATVs.
wow.
It's the coolest thing. They can they know how to build cars.
Yeah.
They can do. It's how did you learn how to do that?
I mean, I wasn't building cars, but I always was with my father under the hood, looking on everything. Like I said, I can all you need to do is like open YouTube, like and brakes,
Yeah, it's
Right.
incredible.
like I'm doing like stuff with my car that I'm able to do. Like for example, like I cannot of course like repair something under because I don't have equipment. But if like simple stuff, I will do it myself, save my money, and it's just fun for me to do it.
Right.
Like I just got like a new car because my old one got a lot of mileage, so I decided to switch it before it turns to the money pit. And I ordered like some extras, like some side running boards, some rails. Can't wait for it to arrive. I'm gonna do it myself, just in a garage. 1 hour of my time.
Yeah, I mean, it's not if you know what you're doing. I mean, why not? It's not something that I can't stand doing. I would like to do it, just don't know. And it will require me to spend some time on YouTube, like you said, and learning the basic stuff, and then changing brakes and oil or something, some basic stuff. I think I can make some. I can do. I mean, do some oil change. 'Cause I used to do that for my motorcycle. But just that for the car, it's much. You have to have those rollers and slide under the car so you can twist the thing. No, it's pretty. It's pretty. Yeah, but in the dealership, you just raise those thing and he can stand and do it pretty fast. And yeah, so it's not too complicated. But now when you have to work on transmissions and people who tune cars, and that's a different level. People who switch engine, and that's something I want to learn because that's pretty badass, huh?
If something happens with transmission, just go to the dealer.
No.
and say, hey,
I'm
man,
talking
I want
about
a new
like,
car.
you don't know. But if you don't have the warranty, then you screw it because transmission works are expensive, like 2,500, minimum 2,000, and hopefully they give you guarantee. But a lot of time it doesn't last long, man. Some people pride themselves to have like some good service, but they give you warranty of 3 years. If you mess up, you can come and they can fix it again. But yeah, when the transmission is messed up, it's really hard to.
I mean,
because I think you have to go inside the engine, right? That's why it's so expensive.
I mean, it's connected to the engine, so especially the automatic transmission is like
that's the one
connected to the engine. But it's like you need to look which car you're getting. So basically, like I'm not buying European car in America because I know that if something happens, I'm gonna just pay tons of money because the parts you need to import the parts. Like I'm buying like American car. Like I love Jeeps, I don't know. And the transmission that they have from Mercedes, it's not failing at all. So they have like a very low rate of the transmission fails. But the biggest problem they have is computer actually, like electronics. That's what like started kicking me in my old one. Like I had some bugs with my computer, so they had to reboot my system. So that's the biggest issue they have.
But don't they have the parts here? Even I mean, they have some factories of the Benz, and because for what I heard, like BM and Benz, they have factories in America. That's where the market. Like if you order like a Mercedes from Germany, it's different than one that's been put together in America. Because so
basically that's why, like I said, if you buy in Europe, BMW, Mercedes, any like German car, that's gonna be the best car. Like you're gonna drive it and you're gonna love it. You're not gonna spend that much money on it, and you're gonna enjoy it. In America, you buy a German car that built in America, in Los Angeles, so it doesn't make sense. Like I said, you might even find the used ones, and they're gonna sell them like $7,000, $8,000, $10,000, and you're like, wow, I can get a nice BMW or Mercedes with a low mileage, no accidents for that money. But then it comes to replace your brake rotors, and it's $1,000 per one rotor because they need to ship it. They, I mean, even if they store the parts in here in America, they're still gonna put big tax and big price on it because that was imported. Or it's different. Like I said, if you just go to get like rotors for Ford or Jeep that like they actually make in America, so they don't have that overpricing of like importing it and making money from it.
Right.
Or just Japanese car. Those never breaks.
I mean, anyway, you
like a thing.
I know it's a free market, but I guess if you're in America, it only makes sense that you buy an American car, right? So that would be good for the economy. So you have everything to gain from buying. If not only you save your parts that you just mentioned, but I guess you get to I know everything is good for the economy, but
Yeah.
I mean, if I had a lot of money, I would drive German car here. I mean, German car built in America. And I would not care if I have to spend
I mean,
$1,000.
I have a Subaru. It's a Korean car, so it's to me, it's more of how the car handle. I mean, that's how I shop. Whatever the car provides for me. If I was to know that something similar to the Subaru would do the same job in American car, why not? Like, what kind of rally car do they have? Ford. Maybe Ford has some rally cars, right?
I don't like
But I
Ford.
don't think they have the same caliber as a WRX or STI, also in the same caliber.
SRT, get a Jeep SRT.
No, those are that's not a rally car. That's not like, I mean, that's
Oh,
like
it's- I mean-
Jeep. I'll get a Jeep like when I'm well off, like to go off road, and some of the not your type is more like
No, I can.
urban type of Jeep.
The new one I got.
Which one? Which body? Which one?
It's
you got?
Overland. It's 2018 or Jeep Overland. So basically now I.
But it's
can-
not like the typical boxy car.
No,
It's like
I can lift it now 16 inches.
no. I'm not talking about like the it's not the typical like military Jeep
Wrangler.
body
No,
style.
no,
Yeah,
it's not Wrangler. I don't
Okay.
like Wranglers because I drive a lot. The Wranglers
Yeah.
is you would take your family, friends,
It's
go
too
to the
rough.
ocean. And it's rough. I drive a lot
Yeah.
highways, so plus I have a little kid. I mean,
Yeah.
when I'm gonna take the roof off when I have a little kid inside the
Right.
car. So, but it's
like a kid.
but
A
it's,
kid gonna be happy. You're
but
gonna
it's
have
my
the wind.
favorite.
You're gonna have the wind coming
it's
up.
my favorite car. But I.
That's what I'm
need to-
saying. If I buy a Jeep, it would be like in the Wrangler, or there are many other type. In some of them are small.
Rubik.
It's much smaller. The two doors. Like you have the small version, and you put some height. You raise the car. That's pretty cool.
Actually, I can see you in a Jeep, right? Like if you're picturing him in a Jeep, you're actually gonna be perfect. I
That's
think
money,
this is
man.
your car. I mean, you take off everything, doors,
The doors, yeah, I
windshield,
seen
everything.
some wild people like taking everything off and driving around. That's funny. Then.
There's a special step they sell that they put like on when you take the door off, you basically put your leg out and then on that step, and you turn.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
That's crazy, man.
It's crazy.
I'm good. I'm good with my little car right now. I'm not gonna be spending on cars for a little while. Definitely not gonna get another car notes. Yeah.
Let's talk about some like training. So it sounds like you're working on some training program to kind of go lift some weight numbers. Like you were discussing some numbers. Just wanted to get.
No, I mean just a regular program. I've been
Let's talk
the
about.
program I'm running.
Let's talk about what you like. What we all do just for like exercise. Just kind of like what is in Godfrey's program, Stani's program, my program. Kind of what we enjoy doing as exercise,
Right.
like for our own training.
And well, you can start first. I think it's I've had that question. Somebody asked to detail why. I mean, what I'm doing in my what kind of program I'm running at the time, and I've been planning to do so. Actually, yesterday I was gonna make a video about it. Might be an opportunity to talk about it, but I would like to mention too that even though people would like me to have some some voiceover in some of my workout video, it's too much work for me because I try to be as productive as possible. I've been like I yet have to see any other prominent YouTuber putting out their daily workouts as log, like documenting and producing at the rate that I'm doing is pretty rare, and that's a lot of work already. And for the amount of, I know that I have some faithful viewers who enjoy it, but it's just that it takes away too much time for my family and my private life to be spending late nights, editing those videos. And it may seem like nothing, but it takes a lot of time to edit. And I've been doing that for almost all my workout, like pretty much 95% of my training. I actually put it out there as a regular for a long time now. So on top of that, having to voice over and describe everything I'm doing in it, I feel like it's gonna take twice the amount of time it's already taking me. So that's the main reason why I have not been doing any type of voiceover video. Even though it will help, it will be more entertaining. Maybe in the future, if I get to have more viewership, I know it sounds selfish of mine, but I just have to be pragmatic. And I'm doing it a lot already. And I was even thinking about maybe if I have a Patreon, I could make some voiceover videos for those who really want to understand the mindset and the methodology under the hood of my training. Then I could make those videos that I can upload on the Patreon. At least that would be a little more incentive for me to get out of my way to to make it happen. Now, so if that's something that people will be interested in, feel free to leave a comment behind. And would you be able to subscribe to a Patreon for you to have access to these type of videos where I break down what's going on in my workout. And yeah, I mean, I'm not really a big fan of those Patreon because it feels like begging for money, but like I said,
We all have to make
because
living.
I know it's like if it's something that people would like to have access to, then why not? I would be willing to do so.
Yeah, because like if now I'm a big supporter of Meckanimal, and I'm sure people would like to know like what makes someone a mechanical animal, right? Because it's like your whole thing. So it'd be like so cool, just like like what makes somebody a mechanical animal? Like what types of exercises are important to becoming a mechanical animal? What your what your
You mean talk about that on Patreon, or what you
no, just in general, just in general.
Because we're still, I mean, on the topic of the program that any of us is running, because we haven't really, this was in parentheses that I was just talking about the remark that somebody mentioned, and not to get back to the program that is being run is more like a conjugate method, which is consists of maximum. I mean, you get to max out your lifts every week, as opposed to the conventional methods of peaking, powerlifting peaking method, where you have different phases of uh, hypertrophy and strength, and then you peak for the season. For the conjugate method, you get to max every week, twice a week for upper body and lower body, and then you have some extra 2 days for dynamic work where you work on speed with half the amount of load that you would on your max effort. On top of that, you spread out some accessory in between those days, and you're good to go. So since October, like that's like 3 cycles now, 5.5 months going. I think with deload included, about 6 months now that I've started it, and it's been productive, been making great, tremendous progress. It happens to be the best method so far that I can use to be efficient at calisthenics and weighted calisthenics as much as powerlifting, and without sacrificing one over the other, because I get to rotate different variation and stay proactive without losing efficiency in some of the lift. So it's really perfect, and I love it at the moment. Just that now since I've started, I've been meeting the maximum set that I've set for each program, because I have it laid out for almost a whole year my program. So I have the anticipation of what numbers I will have by these dates. And the only problem is when you miss the number that you want. So it can be a little bit not depressing, but mentally it can definitely affect the athlete. That's why you have to really be conservative in what you shoot for. so that you don't miss the lift. Because once you miss it, then morally, even though you've been doing great, it's still gonna affect you for the next time you're gonna be maxing. Which this week I failed. I mean, both my max on the upper body and the lower body, but the the load before the maxes are pretty fast and much cleaner. So that's for me tells me that it's progress still, and with a little bit of fatigue that you can have because it's been 6 weeks now that I've been doing without deload at all, and it's about the time after 3 weeks I'm supposed to be in need of deload. This time I pushed 6 weeks, double the time, and I haven't deload. Still feeling good, but the fatigue can still be there. So I know there is nothing wrong with the program, and I may have overshot the lift as well for the squat because I went straight from my 405 to 450.
Wow.
So because I didn't that time was 435 with a 5% increments.
It was 182 kilograms.
Would have put me 435 6 weeks ago with a 5% increment.
435.
Yeah, that was my last
Wow.
PR, right? It would have put me at five. I mean, by 450,
435.
252 something.
That's 218 kilograms.
Yeah, I know, but I'm
It's
talking
218.
about like it's gonna put me around 455. So that's what the max supposed to be if everything goes well as planned, because it's been at 452 something. And last week on my pin squats, I did 405 on the pin squat, which translates to about 90% of your normal max, and it puts me exactly around 460. So I knew for sure that with my current strength, based on 6 weeks ago, what I planned, and based on last week, my pin squat variation, because you start and then you push. So
Yeah, and
that will give you an estimate of 90%. So I know that I was on track to at least have the 450. That's why I chose the lower end of the 452 and a half and 460. I got 450 because I wanted to try 455. That will make it two donuts on top of the 4 plates. It looks nicer, but I really fought my ego and I just put those 2 small plus the 2.5. And still, I mean, and I knew I was gonna fail because something I've learned is once I start doubting, then I know that
That's
I
it.
don't have
That's
it.
it.
No, it's not the doubt. It's not the doubt that make it fail. I think I know it, but my ego wants to get it because on the program I want to have it. So I just didn't want to just admit that day I didn't have it, and because even if I had like 445 or even 440, that would have been like only 5 pounds more. I may have had it, but something now telling me that I would still have failed the 4 things. So I just didn't have anything to beat my last PR for whatever reason. So I just went straight for the 450, went down and poof, and then I just bailed out, and it is what it is. But other than that, I think everything else is good. On my pull up was the day before was not too good either. Like I'm still around the same. I'm faster, more powerful from the bottom, but the top range is still hard to cover. So I was hoping to have 180 pound like for the 4 plates, and just didn't have it. That was 3.5, 160 is still kind of there, even though I'm not happy with the way that one went too. So it's just one of those things. I mean, you can't force it. You just have to adapt. Once the adaptation is there, then you are strong enough. So, and I just have to keep working on the speed work and keep rotating the max effort. And I'm working on a lot of things at the same time. So it's understandable that not everything will go perfect because I want the one-arm pull-up. I want to increase my weight pull, my weight dips, front lever, my planche, even though I have not been focusing much on that. I've been building volume with all the accessories. And I know that when I have a good foundation, it's time to peak, I'm gonna be able to pick within like 2 months and trying to get some good result on the plans thing. So having that much goals is known that your resources are limited, and I'm just trying to optimize it with the knowledge that I have. So yeah, so far so good. I mean, can't really complain. But when it happens, you're really not happy because you're like, man, damn, this workout, man, God. And I had my blue Power Ranger shirt, or maybe Superman shirt.
You had a
My
superhero.
tights. I had my all blue tights in, and was ready to kill it and get my 450. And I didn't post it on the IG. I just posted the 405. Usually I'll post it, but at the same time, I was just really mad about it. So I'm like, nah, I'm gonna leave it out just there, and just in the description say that I was not able to get it. Yeah.
So let's talk about let's speak on your Ukrainian boxing experience and like the training you went through and just kind of like
That was
how it helps you now, like what
Oh,
you did then, and just like the whole, just whatever you want to talk about.
that was my life. That was my life. This was always interesting. I mean, I was bullied a lot when I was like in elementary school. I was constantly bullied. I was super insecure about myself, and I didn't just stand up for myself. So I remember my father brought me into the boxing gym. I just went to the fifth grade at school. So like my father grabbed me, he brought me to the boxing gym, introduced me to the coach. He said, "This is," because they like friends. So he said, "This is my son, and he will start training." He didn't ask me. He didn't even ask me if like you want to train or not. Just like, this is what you're training now.
This is what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean the fun part, it was free, so you don't have to pay anything. Like if you like, of course, if you're adult, like right now, you want to go and start training boxing, you have to pay. But when you're a kid, you don't have to pay because you're gonna compete on competitions, and they're gonna provide all resources what you need. And I just loved it. It just was like a great experience that was like building my self-confidence, and my insecurity was just like vanishing. I just felt it like after 1 year of training, nobody was bullying me anymore in school. But I was never like the person that like, hey, I want to fight somebody at school, or I want to fight in the street. And that's what actually our coach said. I said, if we catch you, any of you like fighting outside, you out, you're done. The trainings, they was like super fun. So like it was like 30 to 45 minutes it was warm up. You're just like doing all type of exercises, warming up every part of your body, especially like your hands, because like that's how you punch in, your wrist, your nose, everything. Then just like super heavy cardio. It was like 3 rounds, 3 minutes of jumping rope and 20 push-ups right after. That's what I'm trying to get back to this right now, and it's like very hard for me.
Right.
Like I felt it like, okay, yeah, I'm choking. And when I was younger, it was just like a nothing. It just was like my warm up. And then we was working 12 rounds in like we was splitting, depends on your weight and height. Of course, we was splitting in pairs, and we working 12 rounds in the pairs. Like not on a boxing bag. Like exactly work with different person who actually defending and moving different than you. There's something when I came to American boxing gym in Rockville I didn't see. And I was very disappointed in that, because that's not how you're learning the boxing. You're learning the boxing by working with another person. Yeah, sometimes you're gonna miss the punch, but it's okay, because you're not, when you're working on some special combination, you're not putting like 100% of your power, try to knock out your partner. No, you're just like working with a person who moving, who defending, who like taller, shorter than you. It's different. So after those 12 rounds, when you work, you have another 5 rounds in a boxing bag, and that's when you like do another cardio, like basically your coach making the intervals, like when you just free fighting like with the boxing bag for 30 seconds, and then another 30 seconds he makes like he wants you to punch it as fast as you can, all type of combinations.
You said your mom sent you those.
Oh yeah. So those like sparring sessions, like when I was younger, and I'm looking at him right now, and I'm like, wow, that kid, like boxing in a ring in a video, it's me. I have a picture my first broken nose in competition, and I'm sitting happy with a smile because the fight was over. Like, and you know, the best feeling ever is like when your fight is over and you just like can relax. Like finally, you know, before the fight you're anxious, you're shaking. Like you see, seriously, my first fight, I remember my father came. And he see I'm so nervous because so many people watching. You know, it's my first fight. I wanna win. You know, I don't
Right.
wanna get like
Yeah.
embarrassed or something like that. So he just make me 2 times like boom, boom, and it's like literally turned me like back to the reality. You know, like okay, I'm going there. I kill that guy, and then I'm winning. But I mean, not literally kill that, but I
Yeah.
just wanted to win. And my first boxing match, it was like a street fight. Not a boxing moves,
Yeah,
but it
they
was just like
wanna go all out. Yeah.
total mess. But like
Yeah.
I won. That was very important for me. And then I was competing twice, 3 4 times a year. My first broken nose, I have a picture when I done, because my nose is big, right? So it's like easy to punch it. So
Sure.
pretty much every my sparring session or boxing competition, my nose was bleeding. But like it's never stopped me, you know. Like they just put like couple tampons during the
That's
break and you're good to go. So I'm sitting all in blood, all my t-shirt in blood. My nose is swollen, like especially here. I'm smiling, and my mom just showing the thumbs up on that picture, and I'm like little.
Mm-hmm.
So it was, my nose was broken 2 times, like during all my career, amateur career. Like I said, I miss it a lot. It helped me to grow as a man. Like I would say, to be more confident in myself. Like because life is some kind of like boxing, you know. You have challenges in front of you, and you're like kind of anxious about them, but then you just understand. You go there, you do what you have to do, and you're gonna come out a winner. And that's how it is. Like my wife asking me how you can have such a strong like nerve system, how you can have such a strong mentality. You know, you're never anxious, you're never nervous, you're always confident, you're always on top of the problem. I said, this is boxing. This is the boxing, because it's discipline, it trains you. And the biggest thing is not making you violent like outside the gym. So I was always trying to avoid the fight. You know, you can say whatever you want into my face. I'll be like, yes, okay, thank you, but please, let's not fight. You know, I don't want to fight with anyone. You don't know what can happen. Sometimes you punch the guy, he will fall, hit his head on a curb, and he's dead, and your life is ruined.
It is.
It's not worth it.
It is not worth it.
So, like, for me, it's just enough to know I can protect myself. For me, it's enough to know I can knock somebody out or break the ribs, or like, it's enough to know. I don't need to show it to everybody. So, like I said, when I was going into competition, the guy who was against me was my enemy for 3 rounds. After that, I was hugging him and saying thank you. No matter if I win or lose, I was hugging him, saying thank you so much, and we was like hanging out. We didn't have anger on each other. Like I was shaking hands of like his corner guys. You know, this is respect. I mean, you have to do it. One competition, I was fighting actually in final with friend of mine who I'm training with, because we was 2 guys in the same weight class who came to the final, so they have to put us together. And we beat the crap out of each other. Like that's how it was. He was like bleeding from his mouth because of his lip. I was bleeding from his nose. They give us draw. So we both took a first place. But yeah, we was just laughing about that. We no hard feelings. Like I said, just great experience of my life. I wish I never stopped. I had to stop because of my broken collarbone, so I couldn't really like throw the right punch well anymore. I mean, I can punch with the right, but if I miss it on competition, I start having like a pain, or I can hurt myself again. So I kind of like move on from boxing, and I start training combat sambo, which was like a totally different type of sport, because boxing is boxing, but combat sambo is more like a wrestling, more like a free fight. So, but my friend was a coach, so he was helping me with all those throws and standing, how to.
Is it like is it some of one of those? Is it some of the arts that the Russian spetsnaz use? No,
It used to be a secret. secret
Service,
combat. So KGB only was able to learn it, like combat sambo, but after Soviet Union like actually start breaking apart, so it's like they kind of, okay, let's give it to the kids, let's train like kids to, like I was showing to Peter like combat sambo, they there's no rules.
Yeah.
The only rules, don't hit in under the waist.
It's like
Yeah, but you can do everything.
Everything.
Like every type of kick, every type of throw, you know, it's
it's
very dangerous sport. I never actually competed in that because, like I said, I trained only for 2 years. It was not enough base for me to compete with the guys who did it like for 10 years. I have a good like punching skills from boxing, but throwing leg kicks, it was kind of new to me, you know. And I remember we came to the gym because it was summer, May, so there was the guys left from our gym, combat sambo, so like we don't have anybody to train to wrestle with, and I was that time maybe 72 kilograms, and my friend who is the coach, he's like 112. He's very big guy. So like I was just like training him on the striking by boxing. He was training me on the throwing, but we needed more people to wrestle with, to like practice with. So we went to the gym where the judo guys was training. They are strong people. that's what I can say.
It's an art, man.
They build up like a skin, like guy skinny. You know, you would say like he's skinny guy. I was holding his arm on a hook. You know, like trying to make a. He just with his single arm he pulled me like that. I was like, there's no way. Then there was a huge guy who was actually training the kids, but then after he was training with us. He's a master of sport of Ukraine in judo. Very nice guy, very huge, scary guy, but he's super cool, super nice. Like, you know, nicest people, the strongest people, you know, because you know they confident in themselves. So he come to me, he's like, let's work together, and I'm like already like scared, you know, because that guy's huge, like, he's machine, you know. I was like, you're gonna choke me out right now or break my leg or arm or something. And he just like, what you can do? I was like, I don't know. I say, can you choke? I was like, yeah, I can choke. So he's getting position, and I put like choking position. He not even using his arm, just his neck muscles.
Neck muscles together.
He breaks my lock.
No.
I was like, how, man? Like how? I mean, that guy is impossible, you know. So like I said, the biggest thing here, you need to pay crazy money, you know, to train any type of sport. You just pay crazy money. This is not right.
You ever witness any people fainting, passing out when they get choked?
Oh yeah. I was the one of them, almost.
Yeah.
It's like the one guy was. We like the jacket that you train in the summer. We have like shorts, and then like jacket like in jiu-jitsu or judo.
A gi.
Yeah. We call it sambovka. Yeah. So, and one of the choking methods is like when you grab like one thing, you grab another sleeve, and then you pull it like this. So it's basically like cuts the air to your brain, and same
just
like
with the gi.
Huh?
Just with the gi, choke people with the gi.
Oh yeah, I can show you one day. Like I said,
okay.
I can show you a lot of stuff from the combat sambo. It's like very hard to learn, but like I said, when you learn it, it's amazing.
How different is it with the conventional jiu-jitsu?
So jiu-jitsu, like it's more like there's more like rules, right? The combat sambo is made for fighting on a street.
Right.
So every single move that you're gonna see is based on like fighting in the street. The same the gi, right? All those throws, all those grabs, is like if you have a jacket on or if you have a long sleeve, you know, all those moves are connected to your regular clothes, especially because it's used to be military combat sport, so it's just like very rough.
Right.
And the competition, if you're gonna watch competition of combat sambo, it's crazy. I mean, Habib, he's the one who trains combat sambo, and nobody can beat him.
But again, the guy used to wrestle with bears. The kids.
Yeah, I mean,
they're wild, man. You saw the video where they're playing basketball. They're running like.
Yeah, I saw.
They're running like no rules, like playing basketball and hitting each other. I'm like, these guys, man. That's not
whole
basketball.
Area, Dagestan.
Yeah, they're rough.
That
man.
whole area is crazy.
Fedor Emelianenko, another Russian fighter who was unbeaten for 50 fights.
Big guy.
Combat sambo. You know, it's like crazy sport, and it's free. Like again, that free, boxing free, judo free, jiu-jitsu free. Like you just need to choose. You just don't have to be
But
lazy.
here it's the business. That's why you have like 5 years old having your black belt. It always make me giggle when some soccer mom say my kid has a black belt in taekwondo. I'm like, only if you know if you knew what it means to be a black belt. Like it's
Back in
all
the
the
day.
little come by. Man, I have a client too. She say, yeah, we did karate and we all have our black belt. And I'm like, man, that lady, she's sweet though. She's 60-year-old. I'm like, man, you don't know black belt karate, man. Like,
Yeah, don't disappoint her. Don't
I
disappoint
know,
her.
but
Because
I mean, I know I like to be frank about things, but it was unnecessary for me to go there, because yeah, we didn't need to. But sometimes when we need to make it clear, I like to inform people. But there was no need to mention that because even herself, she knew that it was more for fitness and
It's
for
fun.
accomplishment, because you come in. But in terms of the real arts, that's why I never really wanted to get to do a martial art if I don't want to commit my time because I'm not looking to pay. I need a master. Like if I start, I want to be a disciple. The same way in my training, in my arts, my lifetime goal will be to have a few disciples. Like, because that I would train for free. Like, yeah, because this is where the fulfillment resides. We just have to pay bills. So, I mean, you gotta charge people to learn.
like
But eventually, the community one, yeah, I will have a few disciples. Maybe my kids will be my disciple.
Yeah, that's the best one. We all have sons.
But not all of them.
Not
All of them want to. Sometimes you have kids who don't want to get on the path that you want them to be.
I mean,
so
yes.
and you just have to accept it. It's just
and
so
the wrong way of doing is pushing them.
yeah. You don't want to push them. Yeah.
You just gotta make it fun.
The least to do is lead by example. When if they feel it, they'll fall into it. That's for sure.
Like I said, for me, boxing training was like fun. I was having fun. I wasn't like thinking, oh, I'm going to go train, I'm tired after school. No, I was like excited. I was like, yeah, this is fun for me. Sometimes he was playing football, soccer. Sorry. Sometimes he was playing soccer. Sometimes he was just like playing some other crazy games, just like having fun. It's not every time was like, oh, just warm up, working in pairs, It just, you need to present it to the kids in a way how they're not gonna get bored of it, because how the kids, when you give them the same absolutely thing over and over again, one day he'll say, hey dad, mom, I don't want to go there anymore. I want to try something new.
If they don't like it, they'll just and you want to expose them to a lot of stuff so that they pick one that they really like. Then they become the very best that they can be at that. I mean, because if they don't really like it, if they want to play piano, hey, it is what it is. Be the next composer.
I can bet my son will play drums. I can bet he loves drums. It's just crazy.
Yeah, you got him in the house, so he's gonna watch it.
Yeah, he hear drums. I'm just plug it in and start playing. He runs and like I wanna be there. He would like slapping with his arm. Or if I play him on YouTube, like some drummer plays solo, he just like magnified to the TV, like wow,
That's
so
nice.
yeah, I think he'll be like playing some instrument, which I regretted I haven't learned when I was younger.
But you're learning now.
I'm learning now, but it's never too late to do what you like.
Yeah, it's never late.
Just you need to start and take like at least 30 minutes a day of your time. Like I said before, I came here, I was actually playing drums. After I came from work, I was playing drums for a little bit.
It's good for your brain anyway, learning any skill.
It's relaxation. I don't know.
For your brain plasticity. Yeah, it is a good thing to do. Keep learning so that you can stay sharp. But it takes activating some pattern in your brain, in your neurons, in the neural pathways to be able to learn it. The process keep the gray matter, alive, if not produce some gray matter to a certain extent, which is good for your longevity, anyway, the longevity of your brain. So for anybody who didn't know, learning a skill is really important to any of us. So pick any skill that you want to learn, something that can challenge your brain in learning new stuff, and you'll be a winner already. on top of being cool and be able to showcase your skill, you get to
Yeah, you want
sharpen,
to acquire
sharpen,
as many skills as you can. That's what I do with all my kids. Like right now, I'm taking them rollerblading. I'm getting them really good at rollerblading. This is a fun thing to do.
They promised to teach me, by the way. I don't know if they tell you. You,
Yeah,
you
they told me
went,
they saw you in the hall.
yeah, you went
when
to
we were
buy
at the gym.
fishes and like I
Oh,
saw.
you never tried the rollerblade?
Huh?
You never tried the rollerblade, you said?
I tried when I was little, and
You're
my
not
break was my butt. So after that, I'm like, I took them. I was like, no more, man, because I was riding in my neighborhood, right? And so there's a funny story. Like I know there was a hill, and I decided to go on that through that hill, and it's like was just like I don't know, maybe like very sharp one, and I just couldn't stop. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna hit something in the end, or I need to find a way to stop. So I just dropped on my butt, and I could
Yeah.
not sit or sleep on my back for like a week.
No, you didn't break
That's
your tail.
traumatic.
You didn't break your
Yeah.
tailbone. At least you didn't break your tailbone.
I was like, no rollerblades. I had a skateboard, I had the rollerblades, but my favorite was always bicycle. I don't know.
Bicycle.
Yeah, mountain bicycle was just going to the park with the friends. We was jumping like some cliffs, and then of course stopping next to the beach, the river beach, and just going to swim and back to ride. Yeah, that's
No,
what
I mean, I don't think it's not that hard though. The roller.
No, it's
I
just
had
fun.
like those
For, like,
four
a
wheels,
kid.
the 4 wheels one. Those what you
The
call it?
skates.
The skate, yeah. Those are the one that I mean, my parents bought to me, and my dad bought for me when he came from France. That was I wanted that, and those are the one you attach to your shoe already. So you have
Oh,
a
yeah.
shoe, you slide it, and
That's
you have
fun.
the straps. So this is the one that I had, and I mean, I learned it at home in my corridor in the house, and I can do the roller. I never had a problem getting uh, the straight four wheels one. Because the moment I get on, so it's not that hard. But skateboarding, I try. No, skateboarding too. I don't can't do trick, but I can balance and move
Yeah.
and kick and push. But snowboard, that's the one I tried 2 years ago, and I fell on my butt the whole time. I have the video on my YouTube. Like it was depressing, man. Like because I thought, okay, I'm athletic. I'm gonna fall a few times. And yeah, I'll be just fine. No, I fell the whole day on my butt. My butt was bruised, like it was so sore, and my ankle and my shin was sore too because I keep on breaking. So I mean, I got a good handle of it. By the end of the day, I went to the steepest slope because it is what it is. I was gonna go on the steepest one, but I couldn't just pick up speed because anytime I pick up a little bit of speed, my brain lock up and I keep on braking. So I was shoveling in the snow the whole way down. So I was slide a little bit because you brake by shifting your feet
Yeah.
perpendicular to your line of to your path. So I was just braking, but it was cool. But that was a lot of workout for my shin because anytime you shift and brake, you have to apply on
The
your
pressure,
ankle,
yeah,
on
on
the
that,
pressure, yeah. So on top of falling earlier during the day, and then I went to the Bunny Hill. That's where I did a few sets. So all my friends left. They went to because they're experienced. They've been snowboarding for like 20 years plus. So they didn't have time for me. So I was pissed because
Yeah.
I didn't have any
Suckers
friend,
left.
and I was just one of myself left. I almost if I was gonna drive home if I was the one that drove there. So I had to wait for them. So I sat a little bit for like 30 minutes, almost an hour. I'm like, you know what, let me just go and do my thing. So I just went on the Bunny Hill and I did it. It was not too bad. And after I gained more confidence, I went to the first one that I tried. It was a steep one. The first one I tried. People are like, you crazy, should have gone to this Bunny Hill. That's where you learn. But I went straight with my friends and they all left. And I'm like, what the hell got me there? I kept on falling all the way down. Yeah, it was fun though, but I never went back again. But that's something I want to learn. Like, it's so cool to see people snowboarding. But yeah, it's very easy to watch people and say, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Hell no. I think it's just the brain, man. The brain, once you pick up speed, you tend to panic. So you gotta get used to it. I think same thing for car racing. I don't think I have my reflexes. I think it's not. I will have to train it to be able to, how people race and they're so tail to tail at high speed. I know. I wonder what kind of training you take to be so relaxed, to be at such speed. Because anytime I get closer to a car, to a certain distance, past a certain speed, my brain can just let go, especially so but at a slower speed when I know my brain know that I can have the reflex in time, but at maybe past 90 mile or 80 mile per hour at a certain speed close by, I cannot just even when I'm driving, I try with myself to shut it off, to try to play daredevil, but I can't just help. I get to how to break like as I get past that threshold. So I guess for racing on the circuits, that's a weakness. So something that I've always wondered, how those people, either they are gifted or they have drills that they do to train their reflexes and
You
be
just have to get used
confident
to the
with
speed,
that.
right? Because like even in snowboarding, if your body's not used to a certain feeling of
Right.
how fast you're going,
Mm.
you're not gonna know how to react to it. So
Right.
it's just repetition.
Like
Repetition.
everything,
Yeah,
bicycle,
Yeah.
motorcycle, everything.
Yeah,
can be
that's-
so
yeah,
fast.
that's-
Oh, it's so fast, and then you do it over and over. It's like
Not too
20
bad.
miles per hour,
Not
no
too
big
bad.
deal.
Just remember how first time you was driving a car by yourself, when
Yeah.
you're going like 50 miles an hour and
Feels
you're
so
like,
fast.
Oh, no.
Oh my god, I'm sweating.
And I think it's a mindset too, like, because I noticed that after workouts, when I'm leaving the gym after workout, my sense of awareness is heightened. I can be really aggressive when I'm driving. But during the morning time or running errands, like in my mind, I think it's the mindset like,
You have to
probably
wake up.
since I stopped riding motorcycle, I think I shut off because I don't want any more tickets. So I've adopted the way of I've adopted the way of driving because I have not been pulled over since I got the Subaru. Even when I speed, it will be just short stretch. But keeping like speed for long distances, I don't really have, because it requires me to spend some brain energy to enjoy that type of. So usually I just cruise but when I'm done working out, I feel so fresh and always like heightened. I guess is the endorphin. That's great. So I can actually be more, more relaxing, pushing the limits of of driving and stuff like that. But before that, because I think in my mind, I don't want to just speed. I don't want to have any ticket and all these things. I think my mindset make it in such a way that I don't really go out of my way to do it. Like, yeah, so that's something that's interesting that I noticed. And those are little things that I guess, most people don't try to understand things like that. They just, everything that I go through, my analytical, brain wants to figure out why is that, why I'm so bad at this, or why I tend to be better at this than this. It is some advantage that I have, or it is something that I work on actively. So it's interesting. When you know your body, you can actually, be confident in your skill. And if you know your weaknesses, it makes you even more confident because you're not gonna go out of your way there and trying to do stupid shit because you're not good at that. Just suck it up and have somebody else who is good at do it. And yeah, or you can bluff if you know it's your weakness and somebody think you're good at it. You can use that as a bluff as well for whatever game you intending. But know that if you were to be pushed to do it or perform, that you're gonna suck at it. So yeah, man, it's interesting. And we still haven't talked about those snakes of yours. It's gonna be the end soon.
Oh yes. Well, speaking about training everything and being ready, like we just talked about.
Yeah.
So I train everything. Yeah, I've discovered that it's important to do a little bit of everything so you don't lose it. Because I'm a big believer is if you don't use it, you lose it. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be like writing. If you don't write for a time, how do I write again? How did this thing happen?
Yeah.
Like it's so like there's certain things like Yeah, that I find very important that I practice every day, like my ability to walk. That's something that I see that as you age through life, that you lose your ability to walk. So that to me, I don't want to lose that ability. So I
Like, what you
practice
mean
my
ability to work? Like, to what extent?
no walk,
As
like
basic
just
as
in, just in
basic
general.
as just walking.
Yeah, just as basic as walking, just like moving through space, right? Because that's what we do every day. We get around from place to place. And when I hear stories like, Stani's grandfather was 99 climbing an apple tree picking
Yeah.
apples.
With a
At
bucket.
99,
With a bucket.
a bushel in one hand and he's picking apples with the other hand.
That's
At the
badass.
top of
man.
a tree. That's
Yeah.
badass, right?
And he went to the war. So, like,
At 99.
Yeah.
So like that man,
Well, at
Stani's
least,
grandfather.
on what side? The parents, the mom or that side?
that's it.
That side.
Yeah.
At least you're lucky enough. If you're lucky enough, you have that gene for longevity.
Well, it's not just that. It's just like his grandfather probably never stopped
Nah,
practicing
he didn't.
those movements every day.
Every single day he
like
was
he probably did the
going-
same thing
he
really
was
well. all
going
the
to
time.
that like how it could be, I mean a river house. I don't know, we call it dacha. It's like vacation house
Mhm.
where it's like not far from where the city
Yeah.
is.
Like a cabin
So
or
yeah,
something.
every day he's going there, digging the potato or digging like the trees, like doing something.
Yeah, his whole
doing
life, he
something.
never stopped. Just
Activity,
keep
because,
training.
Like
Yeah.
what you do, like okay, you retire, what you do? Just sit home, watch TV. No. That's gonna get you in a grave faster.
Right. That's how people die. A lot of people who retire, they die from boredom, or they die from being inactive and binging, watching those silly TV shows, and they don't do anything. They just stay home and they die from.
We say movement is alive.
Mhm.
As long as you're moving, you live.
Yeah.
Then when someone falls in a plug, what do? You check for movement and breath.
So it's like
To make sure they're alive.
like it's,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
like
they're
an
moving.
engine, right? So you need to keep running the engine, otherwise dust is gonna settle on it, and I mean sooner or later it's gonna start getting corroded inside, and you need
Well, it's
to
a good
keep
thing
running the
you're
engine.
mentioning that because the universal law of physics tells us that energy can only be produced by using energy.
Mhm.
So if you don't create energy within yourself, you lose energy. And I recognize it about myself. So I know that if I don't stay as active as I do, the
Okay.
next day and the next day and the next day, I feel slower and slower and slower and slower. And it happens so fast.
Mm.
And I recognize that.
So sorry to interrupt you. I catch one thing about me. So I'm coming usually like right now from work. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I don't have any energy to go to the gym. And like the thoughts in my brain are coming. Okay, take a break, rest a little.
That's right.
Then I'm like,
That was like completely out. No, but that's exactly what I'm saying. So I recognize you gotta keep whatever I realize I do that makes me feel good. I gotta keep doing it every day, because that's all, no matter what I want to do. I wake up and I go to sleep. That's the same thing that happens.
yeah.
Like I don't. I
The
could be.
loop.
And whatever goes on, you still wake up and you still fall asleep. The sun comes out. Sun comes out. It doesn't matter how old you are, where you're in life, whether you're 1 year old or 100 years old. You still wake up and you still go to sleep. So if that's this common denominator of every single day of my life, tomorrow I might win the lottery, tomorrow I might die. I don't know what's gonna happen, but
Yeah.
what the constant is you wake up and you fall asleep. And we all have the same amount of time in between. So I'm like, what do I have to do that I can do something every day to make me feel good? Because at the end of the day, I'm still gonna fall asleep and I'm still gonna wake up. So it doesn't matter where I am in life. It's like, okay, I recognize when I do a little bit of exercise first thing in the morning, I feel better to start my day. So that's why I make it a priority.
Mhm.
And like all these little things that I do, it's like, these make me feel good. These are important to me.
Right.
These help me, do everything else in my life. Whether it's I do this, it helps me become a father, husband, friend, whatever the case may be. Whatever puts me in a state of heightened awareness, which is usually when everyone's happy. Like when you feel so good, you're so aware of everything that's going around, right? And another thing that is really good is I don't have to feel like, am I a good person or a bad person? Morals do not come into question or into play when anybody's in the best mood. Like if you are the happiest mood right now, are you thinking about hurting somebody?
No.
Do you have to think about being rude to someone?
Mhm.
None of that stuff crosses your mind.
Right.
And it doesn't matter what religion you are. You could be like Buddhist, Jewish, Christian, Muslim, doesn't matter what race, ethnic, religion, doesn't matter where you come from. If you feel good, you don't want to do anything to
Right.
upset or hurt anybody.
All of that is just labels that's
Yeah, it's
splitting
just-
us, you know.
Yeah, so it's just like the biggest priority for every human life is to what do they have to do for themselves to be in such a state of awareness of just being joyful, right? Just being alive.
Right.
Because that way, everything that's around you, you can't mess it up and you won't harm it. Like, if you are like so happy, right? And you see like a bug on the floor, you're not even gonna think about stepping on it,
Yeah.
right? You're just gonna walk away. If you see some like anything ugly, it's like, wow, and just keep walking. Like, you're just gonna feel so like.
Right, if you're grumpy, you're gonna stop.
If you're
there,
grumpy,
right?
you could be.
Paul bugs.
And here's this crazy part. In a large scale, it's even worse. So like, it's one thing if a homeless person gets upset, right? Rah, you get upset. But imagine somebody with power and resources. Like, let's say for a billionaire gets upset at somebody. You can use that money to ruin someone's life,
Yes.
right? Like, so it's scarier if someone who's in a higher place than you loses control.
Putin.
So it's even more important, to like
I'd say.
always stay like. No one heard that. So it's even more important to just kind of like, practice always being there.
Yeah.
Because at all levels, it's the most important thing. Because even that person, like the billionaire, if they're in the bestest mood, you can make so many people happy. Right? There's like so many things those like in any position you can do. So that's what I found like the most important thing that I enjoy practicing and training every day is how I feel afterwards. And then I recognize like if I'm in a shitty mood, I can't be a good dad, can't be a good husband. Everything's gonna irritate me.
Yeah.
No one's doing anything wrong, right? But if I don't feel good about something, somebody could be bringing me like food or something awesome. I'm like, I like the other thing. It's like, why did I just do that? I did that because I'm messed up. Something's wrong with me. It's because how I feel. I gotta change that. Because if I don't feel different, then the people that I care about and I love, I hurt them. And then who does that hurt the most at the end of the day? So it's like, so yes.
Yeah, happiness is everything. Sounds cliche.
Just like training
Sounds
for it. It's like
cliche,
you
but
can never reach it, is what I'm kind of getting at. It's like a constant effort.
to find it.
Yeah, unless I'm planning on dying tomorrow, as long as I know I'm going to wake up and go to sleep, it's like an everyday effort. Like, you're never going to be in a position where, like, I'm going to be like, okay, that's it. I'm done. Peace out. No. 5 minutes later, I'm going to be like, shit, I'm bored. Hold on. What do I do? Wait, I'm just sitting here. Oh my God, this is like nothing goes on, and then,
Yeah, but you can find it. I mean, what you're looking to get, like what you're aiming to achieve throughout your lifetime, is enhanced happiness. But happiness itself, I think, is within reach. It's easy to find. You just have to focus on it.
Well, I believe that
Or
everything.
think, or actively think about it, because I mean, you get rid of all unnecessary goals of desire and focus on the one that's within your reach that you can practice every day. I mean, happiness is not that hard. It's very simple, very easy, but it gets easier said than done when you found it. Because I think people are just focused on unnecessary stuff. That's why they're not happy, because I feel like it's not. Because even if you think you're the unluckiest person on earth, like, there's always that thing that can make you feel fulfilled if you were to empty your mind and get rid of all these, all these horrid nightmares and sinister, sinister experience that you went through. Because bringing it back to depression, for example. I mean, no, it's a medical term. Sometimes people, no, they're just born with a predisposition to develop, depression. So I guess that's why you have to be careful when you before you sound judgmental or patronizing towards the people who are depressed. But at the same time, I feel like a lot of people put themselves in the trigger environment, even if you're predisposed to it. So I would allow myself to still try to patronize because you can do better. Yeah. I think it's just like a lot of things too, because none of us is perfect. We have weaknesses too, and I know a lot of the stuff that if I was just to be like, okay, fuck it, I'm just gonna live my life like that. I feel like I'll be fuck up. Like I will do what I need to do to just to be happy, to feel good. Because exactly, feel good as well can you may think it will lead you to happiness, but would make you lead to misery. So you have many ways to feel good. Find the feel good that don't lead you to misery. But most people just attracted to the feel good that will lead you to misery. The quick, the quick thrill, and but it can come with a lot of side effects. So you want to minimize those side of thrill. The thrill of eating what you want was tastes good because I want to eat all the good things, but it's gonna get me to clutter my arteries or
Yeah, but that's not gonna feel good. No one feels good eating like
no, but eating the good food. Yeah, I like food, but because I know it's eating too much of it or too frequent or those things is gonna be bad for me, not only for my performance, but for longevity. I don't want to do that because I want to live long, right? And I want to optimize my my potential, because it's not given being here. And again, I think that's one of the reasons people don't do what's necessary. We don't we don't take advantage of the privilege of being experience this life on earth. Because what were the odds that we were going to be conceived and brought up here and lived to middle age and be able to have families? Many of us left us earlier than that. So it's a really big privilege, man. So when I sometimes understand why people just don't see that and they complain about weird stuff. I mean, it's just weird, man. But again, like I said, when you go deep into the topic, sometimes they say that people just have some predisposition to behaving a certain way. Genetics is everything. That's why we're also different. But I just really want to know, is it really that? What makes the better of us being able to figure things out the way we do and trying to be happy, as opposed to the bigger crowd who don't seem to figure that out? What is it? Is it anything that we have that's special, or is it the will that we have to make it happen? Because if we say we have the will, then it makes us feel like assholes that just feel like we're special and everybody else is stupid. But sometimes you look at the world and you like, do this, like you're trying to get out of it, get out of the world and trying to be like, okay, trying to guide them and be like, okay, you should do this and should do that. But to you, it's so obvious what they should be doing to solve the issue, but they just can't figure it out, What is it? I just,
Like I said, we all have potential. Like, what's stopping you from building the rockets?
Rockets?
Yeah, to go to space.
To go to space? Oh.
You never was interested, you never started, and that's what's stopping you. But like people who studied, who was interested, they building the rockets.
Right.
And they like more educated in that special direction, but like there's nothing that you cannot do the same way. Like somebody building the cars. Do you know how to build a car? I don't know how to build a car. I was never interested in how to build the engine, how everything, so that's why I don't know anything about that. Like we all have like potential, we all have will to learn to do something, but it's just the biggest enemy flies over there is like laziness. That's stopping people from discovering themselves, and getting their dreams coming. Like I said, everybody want a free lottery ticket, a table on the pocket, but that's not always the way. You just need to push yourself harder, push yourself more harder, and you're gonna get success.
Yeah, like here's something that everyone can relate to, and this is what's very motivating to just like want to be all you can be. Think about how many times do you think our parents had to have had sex, right, for us to be here? Imagine how many times, right? Let's say like each time, they reach the, climax and whatever, it's billions of sperm, right?
Right.
And they're all fighting. Let's get to that, right? But not every time they make it there. Sometimes the walls are closed, right? They're like, psh, get away, right? How many of billions of times, right? But then one out of all those attempts, we are here.
Swimming champion.
Right? We're like, we were the champions. We were the chosen ones. We made it. Out of all those people, like,
And on top of that, I think the male sperm is always, they are weaker, so that's why
they're even slower swimmers. From what scientists found,
people tend to have more girls. So a lot of times the female version, the ones that are stronger, so they can go the furthest. That's why so a lot of male ones, they die on the way. They're fragile.
Well, that's even more reason.
that makes even decrease the odds of us having come to
like if your parents, right, like when they're young, right, let's say for example they're super like active, they're doing like 3 to 5 times a day. You do it for a week, right? That's 3 times 7. That's 21 times at least, right? And let's say no one gets pregnant. That's 21 times 1,000 million. Maybe, okay? The chances. That's why it is crazy that we're even here sitting at this table doing this podcast, having these discussions, because it's amazing that we're even here. Think about those chances. And, I definitely see how you can think like, what makes us so different? What makes us so special? We all have the same 2 arms and legs as everybody else. We're all born the same way as the chances. And I recognize, all right, you got 2 arms, I got 2 arms. Our genetics tell you how they will look and how we can perform and what our limitations are, but you can only discover that through trial and error, through striving. But then all those things that like make you great or make you less great, where do they come from? They come from within us. When I drink this I'm going to drink, where does it go?
You.
It's right. It goes in me, right? And then what on the inside, I'll do whatever this makes me on the inside. Like when you lift weights, is the weight making you stronger? No. Your muscles fighting the load, ripping and recovering inside. That's what makes you stronger. Right? The amount of things you do to yourself internally is what makes you greater. When you're running uphill every day, really, really fast, eventually you'll get faster and faster. The hill doesn't make you faster. You make yourself faster because you're over there running. You're creating that demand to become faster. You can't jump high. You jump every day. And one day you're going to jump a little bit higher and a little bit higher and a little bit higher. And then eventually you can't jump any higher, but you can jump as high as you can.
Practice makes it perfect.
Yes. Yeah, it's like
perfect practice here too. I guess practice make perfect, and eventually perfect practice.
Yeah, and we all have different like rates on getting wherever or discovering whatever, but the facts are everything happens within, and it is crazy that we're even here and that we're even alive. So with those chances and those facts, like it should be more than enough for anybody, anywhere to want to be like, you know what? Yesterday was yesterday, today, right now is whatever, but like every second from here on out, I recognize I am in control. I can make things happen.
Yeah, and that type of message is enough for the average person. I guess most people will feel bored by this type of topic, but again, that might be the reason why they feel miserable, because they really can't perceive it. They can't.
Because
they can't understand.
Hurting. When you're hurting somebody right on the spot.
Right.
Like they're like, okay, you know how somebody said, oh, I have a big bone. That's
Mhm.
why I weigh 300 pounds. You know, I have like some problems with my stomach. That's why I cannot do it. You know, I saw the guy who have to drink pills for his heart,
Mhm.
like C.T. Fletcher. I was watching him in Ukraine.
Mhm.
He has to drink pills because he had a heart surgery. He cannot. They tell him you cannot train, you cannot lift the weights. He doesn't care. He drinks pills every day. He goes to the gym and he works like wow. You know, he doesn't have any excuse.
Mhm. Yeah, City
Like
Fletcher.
excuses for
Fletcher
losers.
is a different breed.
Yeah,
They call him Pop City Fletcher. Yeah, he's a different breed, and he understands values life, and he's made
And he's
of
consistent. He's been doing it year after
he's
year.
made of a different a special clothes. And so yeah, he been consistent, and he just loves it. And it probably killing me inside that he cannot do as much anymore because of the restriction. But that's part of evolution in life. You get to morph and you get to
Yeah, adapt.
and you found different source of exhilarance, and you should be good. We just adapt. So all the strength we're building now and all the muscle we're building now is not forever. So you have to understand that once it's gone, you're just gonna have to adapt. What stays is whatever skill you learn and whatever philosophy you build through your life. That's the one that stay and can keep you together until your last days. So all these trivial things, people need to understand that it's just temporary, and those trivial things that the main issue actually people fight with each other. Have the have disagreement with each other. I mean, around those trivial matters. So it's really um, it's depressing for somebody like me to watch the world and be like, oh well, I'm just gonna live in my corner and let it play. Not everybody can win, even though I want everybody to win. Just make what you need to do to win.
Well, if everyone can't win,
It sounds sinister.
but don't you want yourself to win at least?
No, that's what I'm saying. No, I'm saying like not everybody can win because I want everybody to win. I like to help people to win, but sometimes they just don't want to win. They just if they're gonna insult you and make fun of you and this guy's stupid, and all you want is for them to understand. Then you just shut up and keep moving, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, you evolve, and a lot of things I used to want back then, I just scratch it out because it's a waste of time, like, because it can be as much as you want to change the world and all these things. Sometimes some things are not worth your energy. You just have to spend it. You have a limited amount of energy, so you have to prioritize what you waste that energy into. That's what I came to. So
yeah, we only got a certain amount of time and a certain amount of energy. That's all we get. We're like batteries.
Yeah.
You run and then you run out and then that's it.
You better not run out.
No recharge.
Yep, there's no return.
Recharge, man. I know some people freeze themselves, hoping that one day they can bring them back from the cryogenic freeze.
Like Walt Disney.
I think it's $2 million, right, to freeze your body when you die.
I don't know.
I think they have a company, some cryogenic thing they put you on.
It's like Austin Powers
on deep freeze and just keep you there just in case in 100 years.
Find a way to bring you back to life.
Are you even gonna be yourself?
I see.
Because your memories. I want to understand if they find a way to download your memories and everything before you pass, then they can. But if you shut it down, it's hard to believe that if they can bring you back, it's gonna be the same person.
Yeah, and all those old people that are frozen, why would you want to come back alive? Like this?
We also Pet Cemetery.
Like when you're old and you come back, you're gonna come back old.
Come back like fresh.
They're gonna bring you back in the new shell.
We also Pet Cemetery.
Yeah, man. So that's about it. I think we had a good exchange this week. Episode 2.
Yes, episode 2.
Regarding the sound, I hope it's going to be a little better. I yet had to invest in more geared microphone. For now, this is the one that we're using, and we're doing the best we can. hopefully with a little bit of tweak, the sound is better this week. And feel free to let us know how the sound was. That's that. We're gonna keep making.
Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. Yes,
And
the button's right over here
You've
somewhere.
been out of the thing the whole time. He been into it.
Yeah, I'm in it. I'm back in
but
it now.
At least they hear your voice, so that's the most important.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
I'm talking about you. All right, guys.
Subscribe and
Thank
like
you
it.
for coming today. Episode 2 done, and we are out.
Bro,
Not be televised.
let's do it.
The revolution will be live.